Ugh. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Aoki empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I feel pretty good about things today. I did make a couple notes earlier. Let's see, what did I write? Calling all the parts home. Sometimes that could be while people are either really okay with what's going on right now, or really not okay with what's going on right now. Now, I learned my lesson. My journey started in ego deflation about 4 years ago. In August of 2016, I moved here, and that's when my world turned upside down. So everything happens, to people at different times, but the same things happen to people at some point, usually, unless you're, at some point, sometime you've lost a job, maybe, because it just wasn't a match, or somebody broke up with you, or somebody ended some sort of relationship with you, friendship, that you just weren't prepared for, or whatever. Nope. Where am I going with that? Maybe it'll make sense in the playback. Anyway, but some people are having are accepting of having to go within and getting quiet, and they're, embracing this time, right? They're enjoying the time with their family. But wait till it happens, drudges on for weeks and weeks, and see how much, you're going to start telling when blessings spoil. When you spend too much time with your loved ones. I've talked about that in other videos, that even if your most favorite thing to eat in the whole wide world is vanilla ice cream. If you eat vanilla ice cream for every meal every day, there will be a point at some time, likely, that vanilla ice cream isn't going to be as rad as you once thought it was. That's just how it is. We just kind of become accustomed, so we're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to have lots of variety, flavors and tastes and things like that. Experience life. So, some people are not going to have a real easy time with this. And this is one of the reasons why I think that the case is, because people have bad stuff happen to them. Part of my channel is I talk about terrible crap that's happened to me. I was raped when I was a baby. I was a victim of sexual abuse, physical abuse. I witnessed several incidents, brutal physical abuse. There's kidnappings. Within the family. There's just all kinds of just life lessons. Okay, and putting the data together as I put it together, the more people you come across in life, the more you find other people who had crappy things happen to them. I've known a girl who had her siblings hacked up and put out in the garbage, and she had to go into adoption, moved across the country, and just terrible things happen because people are out of balance. There's something in them that is out of balance, and one of the explanations that I have for this, I'm getting to the point, is that when I can't remember what they call it in psychological terms, but I'll bring it down to layman's terms, okay? So when you're young, or when something happens, and you don't even have to be young, but when you're terrified, right? There's something that happens that your spirit comes up out of your body. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I look down at myself, right? Because Earth is a low vibrational place, and the things that people do to other people, you're not supposed to do. It's freaking disgusting, and it's freaking gross. And a lot of this stuff people do in the name of love and stuff. It's just imbalanced psychology and whatnot. Broken programming and stuff like that. And a lot of these people are freaking running the show. They're running the government. So that kind of explains why things are all wonky for all over, It's just broken psyches, if you devoid emotion. Anyway, I'm getting a little off away from the shoot there. So sometimes things happen when your body's put in a vibrational state, fear, terror, whatever, car accident, when you really freaking, when you get the hell scared out of you, there's part of your aspects there's part of your personality, there's something that goes when that happens, there's something that you go, whether it's, you get in a car accident and then from then on you second guess yourself, but part of you leaves. There's an aspect of you that leaves. Or for me, when I look at it, when that happened to me when I was a little girl, it was, and they talk about it a little bit on Longmire. I've heard him talk about it, that when somebody does something awful to you at a young age, that there's the version of that person that is walking the earth still, that before their essence was taken, and now everybody is getting back into their essence, because everybody, the general population, most of the majority of the population is being made with to go within, and so now they're thinking about their behavior, that they're thinking about their past, they're thinking about their future, and a lot of people aren't liking about what they're thinking about. So hopefully they're just going to start taking better actions. Hopefully that's the trajectory that they're going to go. And during this quiet time, they're going to summons all those aspects of themselves that have just been floating out there, that is the collection of the essence that makes up them, And when I think of essence, this is like a key phrase I keep hearing lately. I think of essence is whatever that spark is in you that either makes people keep wanting to come back and spend time with you, or makes people not. That's your essence. Either it's like authenticity or asshole essence. It's like either or. Because you can have asshole essence too. People don't want to be around you. I got it all on full spectrum. I turn on asshole essence, I can clear a room in a heartbeat, But that's not the heart space that I want to come from. I want to come be a light being. I also understand I'm full spectrum, and I'm not always light. I'm not always light. In some situation, I go low. Sometimes I do. Depends on how low the guy is going that I'm dealing with, Because I just out-ass people. When they're being an ass, I just do exactly what they're doing, only more. And then they frickin' spin out. But I can't do that so much anymore these days, because now I live in Oregonian, and they'll just pull out their guns and then teach me a lesson with some hot lead. So, anyway, for all those people for years and years that talked about people about, the cautious people, said you're paranoid. There's no paranoia anymore. There's no paranoia. Everybody has reason to be cautious. And, and the cool part of it is once you get quiet, you start meditating, and you call all those aspects of yourself in, that's like all your intuition starts turning on, man. You start getting freaking knowing, and it's just like, you start, like, earlier today when I did a meditate state, I freaking, it's like 2 hours ago, popped in my head, Life Path 7, just popped in my head. 2 hours later, I go look at my analytics, see if one person watched in like the last hour, watched one of my videos in the last hour, and that was Life Path 7 video I did talking about people with the life path up 7, number 7. It's, and it was kind of cool. A guy I know, he's a runner, he's a pretty rabid runner, and he went for a run last night and took pictures of some deer. And I recommended he look those up in the totem world, the meaning of deer in the totem, animal totem, and he looked it up, and he's like, that's really cool. I said, now look up every animal that you see, that you come across, and you run, That's how we get messages. I get messages all the time. The ducks came to visit yesterday. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. I got some pretty cool pictures, and ask permission. Can I take your picture? Usually they don't mind. Sometimes they'll fly off if they're not in the mood, but usually they don't mind. They're willing to comply. So this has given a lot of people opportunity to call back all those aspects that have been running around, or all those aspects that they've freaking been shoveling out at the bar when they're giving this person a version of themselves and this person a different, and thinking about all the ego separation that people have to just come back into who they are and look at who they are and face who they are, whether it's good or bad. The parts sent out that left when someone took a part of you without permission. I think I did a pretty good enough job explaining what I was thinking about that. So, welcome all the aspects home. We're all full spectrum. We're all light. We're all shadow. It's just, are you gonna let? But we have free will. Just because I go around and I'm like, Artie Pants, I'm gonna beat you. Artie Pants. That's like a common phrase. I'm gonna beat you. I say I'm gonna beat him all the time. I wonder what it sounds like through the open windows. Because the thing is I ain't never put my hand on another human being to date. Out of anger. Haven't. I don't hit people. I think, and I look at all the world around the world, just all the people that are just abuse people. They just hit people, and then I'm like, oh yeah, hurt people. Well, I'm trying to be an example of a hurt person that doesn't hurt people. Sometimes I hurt people with my words, but don't think I'm not gonna freaking choke on those words one day. If I find out 55 years old, I end up with some sort of dis-ease, some sort of, abnormal cells in my body because, I was a jerk to somebody. That's how I look at it, because we get what we give. So just be careful that you're giving out more positive than negative. And if everybody does that a little bit more and more every day, when they come out of this period of when everyone has their resurrection, they're gonna be a little bit more sensitive to who they meet on the street. Happened to me, whether I wanted it to or not. So the meek shall inherit the earth. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.